NC News.
And on electoral matters, INEC has published the final list of candidates for the July 16th Osun State governorship election. A statement by the INEC National Commissioner for Information, Festus Okoye, indicates that 15 political parties are sponsoring candidates. Incumbent Governor Adegboyega Oyetola is the candidate for the APC, while Adeleke Adidamola for the PDP. INEC reminds any political party that observes its candidate's name is missing to notify the Commission in writing and signed by the National Chairman and the Secretary, not later than 90 days to the elections. And in Kaduna, a one-time gubernatorial aspirant in Kaduna State on the platform of the defunct All Nigeria People's Party in 2007 general elections, Sani Muhammad Shaban, has renewed his aspiration to contest governorship election on the platform of the APC. Muhammad Baba reports.
This is not the first time Sani Shaban has been nursing ambition to be governor of Kaduna State, but the difference is that in the past he sought the position on the platform of opposition party, but now he wants to contest on the banner of ruling party. This cleared the coast for Sani Shaban to promote his ideas on why he should be elected as the next governor of Kaduna State. He said consolidating the successes of Governor Nasiru Ahmad El-Rufai is key to his aspiration.
As a progressive and open-minded Nigerian, I consider it a golden opportunity and a chance to display my courage, rekindle my innovative instincts, showcase my character, offer myself to continue where Governor El-Rufai stops after expiration of his tenure in 2023.
Alhaji Sani Shaban believes Kaduna deserves the best among those aspiring to take it to the next level of socio-economic and political development. Therefore, he possesses those qualities needed in an aspirant. Speakers extol sterling qualities of Sani Shaban, describing him as astute administrator with capacity to govern Kaduna State effectively. They call on APC supporters in Kaduna State to elect Shaban as their candidate during party's primary election. In Kaduna, Muhammad Baba, NTA News.
Time for a quick break. Please stay.
What's inside this beautiful family? There's love, and inside it, there's Alpenliebe. And in the center of Alpenliebe, there's a feeling made with rich milk and creamy caramel. And now, there is also Alpenliebe strawberry with vitamin C. Enjoy the irresistible pleasure of strawberry liquid filling and vitamin C. Alpenliebe, the candy that warms your heart with love. Alpenliebe, bring hearts closer.
Every harmattan, he falls sick so frequently and misses school often. I keep him away from junk food.
He also feeds me apple. She said an apple a day keeps...
If you want to keep germs away, then use Dettol soap regularly. Germs and disease spread easily during harmattan. For this, use Dettol soap. Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Dettol soap is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association. Be Dettol sure.
Dear friend, how are you? I can smell the goodness of Easter around you. But wait a minute. Do you know you can enjoy Easter in luxurious comfort like never before? Because this Easter, Bedmates Furniture invites you to discover new levels of comfort with furniture that brings life to your home. Seriously, now is your last chance to have a memorable Easter and beyond. From 21st March to 20th April 2022, get furniture you love at unbelievable low prices with free gifts in our showrooms. Hurry now before others choose the finest units you want.
It's been a long day, and nothing could feel better than sleeping comfortably. So relax. You won't be bothered by leakage or irritation tonight. Huggies Dry Comfort has a super fast dry layer that quickly absorbs wetness for all night dryness and comfort. So baby can wake up comfy and dry as the night before. And you keep doing great, Mom.
Now in a new look pack, available from 650 Naira.
Buy Nigeria Registration and Telemarks in partnership with
NTA Television Enterprises Limited.
the Buy Nigeria Project presents International Market Access Platform. BuyNigeria.com, a one-stop e-commerce portal and public procurement referral for exclusively made in Nigeria products and services. The Telemarks for buying and selling on television, for company and product registration, participation, sponsorship, and adverts on Telemark. Call Acho on 080-9521-2547 or Sarah on 080-331-73233. Visit www.buynigeria.com or www.ntatve.com.ng for products inspection, standards and quality assurance. Buy Nigeria Center, The Arena, NTA Headquarters, Abuja, FCT.
Buy Nigeria, Market Square, Mount View Mall, Life Camp, Abuja.
Buy Nigeria, providing market access for entrepreneurs in the 36 states and the FCT, from local to global.
Stop the proliferation of illicit small arms and light weapons. It is estimated there are over 6 million illicit arms in circulation in Nigeria, and this has led to the untimely death of innocent citizens. This huge number and overflow of weapons in the country have needlessly contributed to very high levels of violent crimes, banditry, insurgency, terrorism, cultism, and political thuggery, thereby making you insecure. We must work together to rid Nigeria of illicit small arms and light weapons. Stop gun running, stop stockpiling, stop selling your security and well-being for cheap. Report anyone stockpiling or smuggling illicit arms to the nearest security agency. Support the government so we can live in a safe Nigeria. This message is brought to you by the Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons.
Thank you for staying. As full details emerge on the scale of the brutal terrorist attacks in Kanam and Wasi communities in Plateau State, President Muhammadu Buhari has described the killings as heinous. He said that the perpetrators should not be allowed to escape justice. He ordered law enforcement agencies to work strenuously with the government of the state to bring the situation under control and take steps to bring the culprits to justice quickly. President Buhari expressed condolences over the terrorist incident. He said that as a matter of priority, peace must return at all costs to the state and the entire country. Similarly, the Minister of Women Affairs, Pauline Talin, has sympathized with the government and people of Plateau State over the continuous attacks on Kanam and Wasa local government areas, as well as Basa local government, where scores have died and houses destroyed. She equally lends her voice with that of the state government in calling on the federal government for collaboration to deal with the terrorists hibernating in the general area once and for all, to enable the people of the state to go about their legitimate businesses without molestation and harassment. And away from Plateau State, the federal government has rejected the 2021 annual World Press Freedom Index, which placed Nigeria as a country not conducive for the practice of journalism. Maintaining that Nigeria remains among the freest in the world, Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed stated this when he granted audience to executives of the International Press Institute in Nigeria. Anthony Forson reports.
I relate and try to promote robust freedom of the press.
Expressing displeasure at the manner in which some media organizations and practitioners operate, the minister said some publication or position the media takes leaves a lot to be desired.
When you sit there in a place, and like I said, somebody decides, a paper decides and says, look, a president was voted for by Minister of Nigeria, for whatever reason, they would start calling me a general. And none of you has found anything wrong in that. That is, you are denying the sovereignty of the whole of Nigeria. It's a president. And despite that, the president, this administration has done nothing to hinder the operation of that, media. So I think we should all be very careful when we bandy, figures about your own country.
The minister appealed to IPI to take seriously certain attitudes that are enshrined in positive practice.
For example, on the issue of ethics, is it part of the ethics of journalism for a media organization to function like an opposition party, seeing nothing good in the government of the day, and only reporting bad news? The last time I checked, the constitutionally guaranteed role of the media here in Nigeria is that of a watchdog, not an opposition.
Earlier, President of IPI Nigeria, Muskilu Majid, said IPI is a global network of media executives, editors, and leading journalists that are constantly and strongly crusading for media freedom as well as committed to credible and independent journalism.
We are here to engage with you on how we can collaborate to make Nigeria a better operating environment for journalists and the media, especially as the 2023 election season approaches.
He assured that an avenue will be created for frequent engagement between government and the institute. In Abuja, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The federal government has declared Friday 15th and Monday 18th of April 2022 as public holidays to mark Easter celebration. In a statement, the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola, urged Christians to emulate the attributes of sacrifice, togetherness, forgiveness, kindness, and love, as exemplified by Jesus Christ during his ministry on earth. He also called on Nigerians to pray for an end to security challenges in the country as the federal government is working to restore peace to troubled areas of the country. The federal government is mobilizing engineers to commence repair works at the vandalized transmission tower in Akwa Ibom State that led to nationwide power outage last week. Joshua Ojito reports that the ministerial delegation and assessment of the damaged infrastructure also engaged state government on synergy to protect power facilities.
You may wonder what led to nationwide power outage last week. It is this act of vandalization of a major transmission tower in Akwa Ibom State.
It is a transmission tower on the Odukpani Ikot Ekpene 330 kV double-circuit transmission line, which was brought down in the creeks of Akwa Ibom State by the vandals. Hundreds of megawatts of electricity generated from power plants in Cross River State lost and the national supply disrupted. Federal government says the load shedding is worrisome, and the managing director of Transmission Company of Nigeria, Sule Abdulaziz, on the mandate of the power minister, is in the creeks to assess the vandalized infrastructure. 1 week deadline is set to fix the damaged tower as engineers are being mobilized to site.
The whole power sector, we are doing our best to make sure that we provide a better supply to Nigerians. And I have already engaged a contractor to come and repair these things. So I'm assuring Nigerians that it will not take time. This tower is going to be erected and we are going to supply good electricity to Nigerians within a shortest period of time.
We are aware of the vandalization of equipment that is going on. We have put the structure in place to hunt down the people that are responsible, and I'm sure some arrests will be made if none has been made already.
Beyond fixing the infrastructure, there are calls for communities to take ownership of power facilities as federal government sustain investment in the sector. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Meanwhile, a new dawn as NG Energy Access launches its first hybrid 90 kilowatts mini grid that connects local communities to electricity for the first time in Nigeria. The inauguration took place in Gwangbal community in Gwaka local government area of Niger State. Jones Ajayi reports.
NG Energy Access, a leading provider of solar home system, is aimed at connecting unelectrified households and small businesses in Nigeria. To this end, it has connected more than 300 households in Gbangba community in Niger State to electric power for the first time. The mini-grid provides the community with affordable, reliable, and clean electricity that enhances micro and small businesses.
Basically, the solar panels that we have can last up to 20 years, and the batteries, every 10 years we can change them.
The payment is done through mobile phone. You charge a smart meter, so it's a meter that is connected to your house, and the consumption that you do on a daily basis will reduce the amount that you have on the meter, and then you recharge when you want to have electricity again.
Lights that we have, we are feeling fine We are feeling enjoying of the freezers.
I enjoy this light well. But I use the pump and the fridge and the engine and the iron. So some things that they use now. I thank God. I thank that people who coming this late.
French ambassador to Nigeria, Emmanuel Blackman, restated the commitment of the embassy to the development of Niger State and other states of the nation. Niger State Governor, in a message through the Commissioner for Works, Muhammad Musa, said the project will serve as a catalyst to many businesses that will spring up in the area to change their economic status. High point was the lighting up of the wheel and a facility tour. NG Energy Access customers are expected to recharge on pay-as-you-go basis. Jones Ajayi, NTA News.
And in Port Harcourt, barely 6 months, another explosion has rocked the Nembe Beli Boni in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, claiming unspecified number of lives Monday. Robinson Deratede has an update of the situation.
At Nembe Jetty, where fire destroyed a lot of lives and property worth millions of naira. The fire, which allegedly started around midnight on Sunday, resulted in the loss of many lives, 3 tugboats, and unquantifiable number of speedboats. Not less than 10 corpses have been recovered, including 3 children and a pregnant woman. It is alleged that the fire started from one of the tugboats ferrying market women from Odiama. Ahmed Musa from Bauchi State, who went to buy aluminium scraps from brass, lost 3 of his brothers and goods worth 30 million naira.
We don't come in the night, you understand. So me, I'll go buy something for my boys, and my boys are inside the boat, you understand. Before I come, the boat can't catch fire. And the 3 my brothers, all of them, they don't die for inside, and they're 3, you understand. And my market where I buy, you understand, is 60 ton, 9 be 30 million.
Around after 12, they wanted to pump the water out. But the boy made a fatal mistake by not offing the pumping machine, and then put fuel. So the thing ignited, caught himself and caught the jerry can that he is also putting the fuel in. And then as he threw the jerry can, the thing now splashed on 2 boats and then caught all the boats, over 100 speedboats, and then more than 60 lives are burnt off down.
A similar incident happened last year, November, at the same jetty. So the need for government to station a fire service here has become very important. The jetty is still a beehive of activities, while people were searching for boat engines in the water. From Nimbe Jetty, Robinson Deratede, NTA News.
The issue of petroleum products diversion and other sharp practices associated with loading at the depot will soon be a thing of the past. This resolution was taken at a meeting between the Police Affairs Minister and independent petroleum marketers in Abuja. Francis Fom reports.
In order to nibble the border. These are stakeholders in the petroleum downstream sector meeting the Police Affairs Minister to seek for support in addressing the challenges relating to diversion of petroleum products, black markets trading in the depots.
Right now, we can't have our owners taking responsibility for these diversions because they can monitor, they can surveil their trucks. So it is a problem that we're trying to deal with.
And I believe with what we have seen today, we have been given all the necessary assurances from Honorable Minister that they will work with us 100%. And we are happy, we are grateful.
The minister reminded the delegation that Nigerians depend on petroleum products and that the ministry will rely on them to tackle the challenges around the depots.
We are aware of our responsibilities and we will endeavor to give you all the necessary support and cooperation that is required for us to ensure that these products reach all the corners and crannies of the country that it is supposed to reach.
The minister further assures the stakeholders that those who are out to bend the rules will be shown the way out and treated accordingly. Franks is from NTA News.
And then Education Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, and the 2009 Federal Government and Universities-Based Unions Renegotiation Committee are utilizing different approaches to regularize grey areas in the proposed agreement signed in 2020 between government and ASU. The aim is to find a lasting solution to instant strikes in the country. Charles Arthur brings us details.
The federal government and the Academic Staff Union of Universities a few years ago signed a proposed agreement with the aim of meeting the demands of ASU. Despite effort by government to meet the demands, ASU claimed the proposed agreement has not been completely honored, and this has led to the shutting down of tertiary institutions every now and then in Nigeria. In the light of this, the federal government set up a university-based union renegotiation team to interface with parties involved with the aim of finding a common ground. The team, after its meeting with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, was with the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, to relay some of the pending issues, as you said, were contained in the proposed agreement.
So today we held a meeting with the unions, and they were quite upset. I think that's the right word. They were quite upset that government is unable to meet the respective demands that were being made. The union is of the opinion that they would want to be paid through the UTAS.
The existing government agencies that have things to do with the ASU and the other unions in the university system, they will see the message and they will be more enriched in the discussion so that they can be able to assist us.
The federal government renegotiation team was given 6 weeks to finalize its work with the various parties. In Abuja, Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Let's now join Adiola in Lagos for more news. Adiola, it's over to you.
Thank you, Ayara. Repair works will commence soon on the damaged sections of the Akpogmo Bridge that was engulfed by fire, as soon as clearing of debris finishes in order to open the closed sections to traffic. Federal Controller of Works, Lagos State, Olukayede Pupuola, stated this during an inspection tour of the bridge accompanied by relevant stakeholders. Abolade Salami reports.
The core bridge connecting movements from Ikorodu Road en route Alaka into Lagos Island has been closed to traffic for weeks as a result of fire outbreak from businesses operating under the bridge. Assessing the level of damage to a certain amount of work expected to be carried out on the affected portion, the Federal Controller of Works said while engineers working around the corridor have intensified work, arrangements are being concluded to commence repairs on the bridge.
This section that where we have the fire incident was not part of the contract awarded for rehabilitation of this bridge. But because it's an emergency, the contractor has to be moved down to this place to start the work that they are doing. This will allow us to open the bridge to the traffic sooner.
In ascertaining the structural integrity of the bridge to provide services as regards movement of vehicles after the impact of the fire, conducting physical examination and testing of materials by relevant agencies is required.
One that just occurred now, they will know that the level is so much that the money that they are going to spend on this rehabilitation is going to be much.
To see what is happening here, it's a national disaster. Because majority of the people that are in Lagos using this bridge use it to get to other extents of their own work, as far as back as any other part of Lagos.
So Lagosians to exercise patience as work is being finalized, stressed that complying with standards will not be compromised. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has confirmed that Nigeria is one of the 6 countries chosen to conduct mRNA vaccine for COVID-19. This will increase the prospect of vaccine production before the end of the year. At a press briefing in Lagos, the Director General of the agency, Professor Mojisola Adeye, also hinted that NAFDAC has been upgraded to maturity level 3 on the World Health Organization's rating for regulatory agencies around the globe. Michael Olaleye reports.
Drawing a chronology of the rapid transformation within the agency from having to deal with 860 recommendations based on global benchmarking in 2018 to attaining maturity level 3 in 2022, the Director General says the certification is a product of effective inspection, compliance, and digitization of processes, with focus now shifted to attaining maturity level 4.
When we get to maturity level 4 and then specialize on some areas like regulatory inspection, clinical trial, whatever, some of those functions, we will now be classified as world-listed authority.
Another area of major concern is the growing falsification of NAFDAC number, which is increasing the proliferation of fake drugs in the market. She shared a scenario in which an anti-malarial drug almost paralyzed its victim. But more cheering news is that the agency is adopting technology in which a track and trace system leveraging on barcoding reveals whether a NAFDAC number is cloned or not.
How can somebody not work for taking anti-malaria? That is why we are doing what we are doing, because nobody is exempted in terms of quality of medicine or quality of food.
On COVID-19 vaccine, the Director General says a homegrown solution is on the way before the end of the year. NAFDAC in 2019 inaugurated a Harbour Medicine Committee to capitalize on the country's huge deposit of biodiversity resources for locally produced drugs. An effort in that regard, the Director General hinted is progressing. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NT News.
And those are the stories from Lagos. But do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time now to take a break. The news will continue when we return. Do stay with us.
My son, calm down now.
It's like I'm rubber.
My uncle no go buy.
Uncle, meet Andy. He has come to ask for my hand in marriage.
Good morning and good afternoon, sir. What about good night? Have you seen a movie? What nonsense.
Son,
No, sir. It's my parents in the village. I'm doing a video call since they can't be here.
Glow Bracketed Plus is here. Existing Glow customers will get 400% bonus on every recharge and 100 MB data bonus on first recharge of the month. New Glow customers will get 1,000 Naira welcome bonus. To activate, buy a new Glow SIM today or dial *777# for existing Glow customers.
Whoa, how hot is she?
Pick me. Just pick me, baby. Come pick me, girl. Man, I'm all ready for you. So tasty.
He's so lucky. Mini-Me, taste the fun.
Every Harmattan, he falls sick so frequently and misses school often. I keep him away from junk food.
They also feed me apple. She said an apple a day keeps...
If you want to keep germs away, then use Dettol soap regularly. Germs and disease spread easily during Harmattan. For this, use Dettol soap. Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Dettol soap is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association. Be Dettol sure.
Glad to have you back. Nigeria's first transportation university in Daura, Katsina State is set to commence academic activities by September this year. Minister of Transportation, Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, made this known while inspecting construction work at the university and the Kano-Kaduna rail line. Oyinaya Kalu Oka reports.
Was an inspection exercise that took the Minister of Transportation, Chibuike Rotimi Amechi, to 3 places. The first place was at the construction site of the Kano to Kaduna standard gauge rail line in Dawakin Kudu, Kano State, where the minister held a crucial meeting with the contractors. The minister was not impressed with the level of work, and the issue of compensation was of concern to him.
That it is the responsibility of the governor to give us an unencumbered land, despite the fact that we have paid. So if there are problems that we are encountering problems. That is not in dispute. But I think that the best person to resolve those disputes will be the governor of the state.
At Dala Inland Dry Port in Kano, he was displeased with what he saw on the ground.
They promised me they will complete by today. Have they completed the structures? Yes, but I didn't see the landscaping. So I said, look, until you complete the landscaping, I will not be able to bring a president here.
The story was, however, different at the University of Transportation, Daura in Katsina State. Work is at advanced level.
It said remaining 7 buildings, and that those 7 buildings should be ready before September. I've asked the PAMSEC to invite them for a meeting so that this school can start functioning from September.
The minister visited the Emir of Daura's palace, where he briefed the royal father on the benefits of the university. Oyinaya Kalu Oka, NTA News.
The Buhari Media Organization, BMO, says the recent signing of Teachers' Harmonized Retirement Age Act by President Muhammadu Buhari is a very bold move to reposition the teaching profession and restore its former glory. The Harmonized Retirement Age for the Teachers in Nigeria Act provides for the retirement age of teachers in the country at 65. The BMO, in a statement, observed that signing of the bill into law will greatly benefit the educational system in the country, even as it will confer respect and prestige on the teaching profession after being utterly neglected over the years. Now, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has urged religious bodies to key into the vision of the federal government to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty within 10 years. He stated this when he received in audience the Catholic Archbishop of Abuja, Most Reverend Ignatius K. Gama. Mitari Ikben tells us more.
His Grace, Most Reverend Ignatius Kaigama, is at the presidency to seek support for Nigeria's hosting of the Regional Episcopal Conference of West African Bishops, billed for next month. The SGF, while pledging the federal government's support for the event, commended religious organizations for promoting peace and socio-economic development in the country.
You are also assisting government to uplift the quality of the lives of these people. So it is not only dealing with the spirituality of the people, but also the day-to-day basic needs of the people in terms of provision of healthcare, in terms of provision of education, in terms of empowering and equipping the people.
Archbishop Kaigama, who is also the president of the Regional Episcopal Conference of West African Bishops, said the forthcoming conference will focus on how the church can further promote economic growth and the well-being of citizens in the sub-region.
How can we do more in the area of university education, for instance, secondary education, healthcare? We must talk. In Nigeria alone, we have quite a number of private schools in Ghana, Senegal, Cape Verde. Oh, they have theirs. We must learn from one another, and that is why it's good we meet.
About 200 bishops from 16 countries in West Africa will converge on Abuja between the 2nd to 9th of May for the Regional Episcopal Conference. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Let's now talk business, and Benny Adams is here. Benny.
Thank you, Yere. It's actually time to talk business. I'll start by telling you that the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, on Tuesday cut its forecast for growth in world oil demand in 2022, citing the impact of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, rising inflation and crude prices, in addition to the resurgence of the Omicron coronavirus variant in China. In its monthly report, OPEC said world demand would rise by 3.67 million barrels per day in 2022, down 480,000 barrels per day from its previous forecast. February saw oil prices soaring above $139 a barrel, the highest since 2008, and worsening inflationary pressures as a result of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. OPEC says while it is forecast that both Russia and Ukraine will be facing recessions in 2022, the rest of the global economy will be impacted as well. The strong rise in commodity prices in combination with ongoing supply chain bottlenecks and COVID-19 related logistical logjams in China are also cited as reasons for growing global inflation. And on the capital markets, we have investors gained 181.73 billion naira as all share index appreciated further by 0.72% to close at 47,205.03 basis points. Market capitalization stood at 25.4 trillion naira, while 245.4 million shares valued at 4.5 billion naira exchanged hands in 5,832 deals. Capital led 30 gainers as against 15 losers, topped by Academy at the end of today's session. Guarantee, Zenith Bank and the Nigerian breweries were the most active to boost market turnover, while Seplat and Guarantee topped the market value list. That is business news, but network news continues with Mohammed in Maiduguri.
Thinking Maiduguri. Worried by problems of water shortage in some areas, Borno State Governor Babagana Umara Zulum has visited some communities within Maiduguri Metropolitan Council and Jere local government area, where he ordered the State Ministry of Water Resources to ensure quick restoration of sources of supply to the communities. Mohammed Goni reports.
Places visited by the governor include All Maiduri, Kaur Maila, and Gidan Yashi. Professor Zulum interacted with residents in all the communities to get first-hand information and gave assurances of his administration to address the difficulty faced by the residents. The governor the water scarcity was caused by the global energy crisis, however, urged residents to understand the complexities associated with the phenomenon. Governor Babagana Umara said he was aware of the water scarcity faced across the metropolis and environs and assured them that government is working tirelessly to come up with quick solutions to the problem. While assessing water facilities at All Maiduri, Governor Zulum inspected a 2-kilometer drainage aimed at preventing flooding during the upcoming rainy season. He hinted that government will soon undertake more flood control projects and make concerted effort against perennial floods affecting the communities. In Maiduguri, Mohammed Goni, NTA News.
In the meantime, Borno State government has launched a 10 million naira empowerment and vocational capacity building training for 200 vulnerable women and youth in selected local government areas of the state affected by the long years of Boko Haram insurgency. The program was supported by Managing Conflict in Nigeria program of the British Council with funding from the European Union. It's a continuous exercise targeting coverage of the entire state. Yagusu Bukar reports.
Unemployment is one of the biggest problems that has continued to cause concern across the nation, particularly within the insurgency-affected communities in the Northeast sub-region. This capacity enhancement training, which is regarded as a direct challenge to the economic crisis caused by the decade-long Boko Haram insurgency, is part of continued global investment in peace for more development of the women folk and youths. The 200 vulnerable women and youth drawn from Maiduguri Metropolitan Council and Jere were trained to act in the scale demanded for equitable peace and self-reliance, as well as build resilience for the victims of the humanitarian crisis in the conflict-affected region. Elizabeth Silvanus, a lactating mother, is among the 200 women and youth that appreciated the government and development partners for coming to their aid.
Empowerment is one of the strongest components in women peace and security building. By doing this is making a very good impact in developmental aspect of the country.
This just forms part of other interventions that we have around services provision that have to do with trauma counseling, as well as facilitating dialogue.
Representatives of EU and the British Council called on the participants to translate the empowerment exercise into reality and use the 10 million naira to improve their means of survival. In Maiduguri, Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
And those are the stories from this end, and time for another break before network news continues in our Abuja studio.
The game changer in Nigeria economy through sufficient and efficient fertilizer production for new wealth base through agriculture. That is our focus this week on NTA Tuesday Live. Tuesday Live, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Incisive and educative. Join us.
Our pastors, our imams, in every church, in every mosque, please realize that in the course of praying for peaceful and transparent elections, we all have duties beyond prayers. If we want a stable society before, during, and after the elections, what should you be saying to those that worship with you? All Sundays and all Fridays, you are saddled with the responsibility of bringing up good generations. It is therefore your duty to both man and God to ensure peace all the time, no matter about elections alone. People talk to people and people listen. Talk to your followers. Make them listen to ensure peaceful 2023 elections. This message is from the National Orientation Agency.
Welcome back. Nigeria is creating an innovative ecosystem as it positions itself to be the leading digital economy in Africa. This is with the approval for more funds for the establishment of digital centers that will nurture startups of indigenous technologies, which is expected to cause digital transformation. Chimdema Ndubisi reports that this is a fallout of the Federal Executive Council meeting.
On 11th November 2020, the Federal Executive Council approved contract for construction of the National Digital Innovation and Entrepreneurship Center. 3 months later, the foundation was laid. The center is to serve as a one-stop shop where young innovators, entrepreneurs, and startups will acquire cutting-edge technological skills, develop hardware, software, and emerging technologies, as well as link up technology hubs across the world. The major objective is to create more job opportunities, which is one of the federal government's quests.
Digital innovation and digital entrepreneurship. These are the two prerequisites of building an indigenous digital economy.
The contract was initially awarded for more than 9.5 billion naira. However, due to rising cost of critical materials, more funds were requested. The Federal Executive Council has granted approval for the increment. The construction work is at about 45% completion. The tech hub, expected to be completed in the second quarter of 2023, will be equipped with state-of-the-art facilities comprising digital innovation lab, mini research park, co-working startup space with digital literacy and skill capacity building facilities. In Abuja, Chimdema Ndubisi, NTA News.
And now a bit of sports. The crisis rocking Nigeria Basketball Federation is yet to be over. This followed meetings by the two parallel boards, again in Lagos, and a press briefing in Abuja. Ayodeji Makinde has an update on this and more sports news.
Igoche Mark and Musa Ahmadu Kida are two prominent names involved in the legitimate claim to administer basketball in Nigeria. While these two gladiators continue to implement their different programs for basketball development, Musa Ahmadu Kida has assured on operating an administration erected on equity and zonal representation as a meeting which held in Lagos.
And you're also going to see the board itself leaning on these six legs in order for there to be a bottom-up type progression, and then also for a top-down type visibility.
In another development, Igoche Mark, during an interactive parley with the media in Abuja, explains the genuine intentions of Youth and Sports Development Ministry, as well as Nigeria Olympic Committee, to ensure an all-inclusive basketball federation reigns for the benefit of the sports.
We've been having back and forth communication with the ministry. And I can also tell that it was based on that the minister rightly made that statement that they acknowledged that our elections took place and that our election that took place in Abuja here was genuine.
Away from basketball, former presidents of FIFA and UEFA, Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini, are set to face corruption trials in June in Switzerland after charges by prosecutors found Blatter guilty of unlawfully transferring 2 million Swiss francs to Platini in 2011. And still on football, Manchester City captain Fernandinho will leave the club at the end of the season, but will still be available for selection when the citizens take on Atletico Madrid in the second leg quarter-final of the UEFA Champions League. With sports updates, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
And that concludes NTA Network News tonight. Many thanks for watching, and please join us in the fight against rape and rapists. I'm Yen Ray John. Have a good night.
Hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet, and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
This is the network service of the NTA.
The ever-busy ancient city of Onitsha is a commercial hub with millions of commuters seamlessly linking other states daily for business, leisure, and other purposes. To upscale its road network, the construction of a 1.6-kilometer-long second Niger bridge, including a 10.3-kilometer highway furnished with other infrastructure, has been in motion by the federal government. This project will ease congestion on the existing 56-year-old Onitsha bridge and boost the economic capacity of the state as it easily connects to other parts of the country. The completion of the world-class second Niger Bridge Onitsha will be one of the many proud moments of the state, its people, Nigerians, and foreign investors. Onitsha, which hosts the largest market in Africa, is geared up to boast of an impressive road network. Once again, these moments are made alive by the federal government, and it is deserving of all the applause.
All the thrills and all the action on Nigeria's biggest dance reality show. Glow Battle of the Year is on NTA every Sunday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
The OCI Foundation International, with the support of the Nigerian Cancer Society, the Office of the Nigerian First Lady, the Future Assured Foundation, the First Ladies Against Cancer, the Sweet Home Humanitarian African Foundation, and other esteemed partners, presents the Savvy Breast mobile application. A game changer in the fight against breast and cervical cancer. The first of its kind anywhere in the world. Life-saving, unique, innovative, educative, interactive, engaging, and informative. Designed by a Nigerian for Nigerians, for everyone. Male, female, old, young, rich, poor. It sends customizable reminders for cervical cancer screening and breast self-examination. Top Nollywood star, it locates breast and cervical cancer service providers at discounts from any village, town, city, or state in Nigeria.